Hello, my name is Jerry Powers. I am Director of Catholic Peacebuilding Studies at the Kroc Institute for International Peace Studies, which is part of the Keough School of Global Affairs at the University of Notre Dame. In 2020, the Holy See Dicastery for Promoting Integral Human Development, the Kroc Institute, the Catholic Peacebuilding Network, and Notre Dame's Rome Gateway, with the generous support of FADICA, started an innovative program for young professionals. The Preparing the Future program provided an opportunity for 3 recent graduates to work full-time at the Vatican for 18 to 24 months. Melinda Davis and Harriet Fink, both 2019 graduates of Notre Dame, and Jordan Glassman, a 2020 St. Louis University graduate, were the first cohort. This program gave them valuable professional experience working at the highest levels of church, government, and the private sector. More important, it gave them a much richer understanding of the complexity and the diversity of a billion-strong global Catholic community. It also helped them deepen their own faith. And finally, they developed deeply enriching relationships amongst themselves and with many other young Catholic professionals from around the world. But those are my words. Let's hear directly from Jordan, Melinda, and Harriet about their own experiences, along with 2 of their supervisors, Sister Alessandra Smarelli and Alessio Pecorario.
I'm the junior coordinator for the Security Task Force of the COVID-19 Commission, which is housed in the Dicastery for Promoting Integral Human Development.
For the past year and a half, I've been serving at the Dicastery as a junior coordinator for the Economic Task Force of the COVID-19 Commission and as part of the Faith and Development section of the Dicastery.
I'm working as a junior coordinator for communications in the Vatican COVID Commission. Communication is supposed to be for the unity and advancement of all people.
I think that for the dicasteries, this is important to be involved with these young professionals because they bring new life, they bring new competencies, new skills, and new ways of working, and this is very important for us. And for example, they have been very helpful in working for the Vatican COVID Commission, the commission that Pope Francis established to deal with economic and social consequences of the pandemic. And these young people were very useful for us with their creativity, flexibility, and professionalism.
An event that I helped organize at the Dicastery was a conference about eradicating child labor. We were able to get an audience with the Pope, and watching especially this young woman from Nepal interact with Pope Francis was an extremely touching moment for me. And then of course, getting to meet the Holy Father was a great joy of mine.
So one of the things that Pope Francis has been especially passionate about during the pandemic is vaccine access. So to respond to this, the COVID Commission created the Vaccine Resource Toolkit, which is a collection of church documents explaining vaccines and the morality behind vaccines. So all of these resources were collected, and I designed the layout and put together all of these pieces to create a cohesive and holistic understanding of vaccines.
One of the major projects that I was able to contribute to was a conference in March of 2021 on advancing integral disarmament in the time of the pandemic. Countries spent just as much on the military and on weapons as they did before the pandemic, which raised the question, why now? Shouldn't we be changing priorities? And so at this particular conference, which I was able to moderate as one of the sessions, we brought together many, countless different representatives, and they all shared their voice of support for integral disarmament, which is kind of disarmament from a whole society approach, not just in nuclear weapons in the military, but really disarmament of hearts and minds, as Pope John XXIII spoke about, which is really necessary for converting our society from one of militarism and one of antagonism to one of peace and life.
What's been really personally meaningful and also motivating from this experience is that this transformation, the transformation of hearts and minds and structures, begins first in myself. And I feel very grateful to share that with the other fellows, my colleagues at the Dicastery, and the other people that I've encountered in the work here, especially the people working in communications, because through them I've learned so much more about what it means to advance the unity of people and also to promote integral human development.
Something that I'm really grateful for in this experience is the opportunity to interact with young professionals working in the church, and specifically those that have been co-fellows of mine. I have been able to develop professional and personal friendships with these people, and it's really been an honor to work with them, to pray with them, and to have fun with them in this wonderful city of Rome and beyond. And so I think part of the magic of this for me has been learning so much from my peers at the Dicastery and my peers in this fellowship. And some of the most valuable experiences for me have been in the friendships that I've made.
I love to identify other young people who are passionate about the same things that I am, and this fellowship has really given me the opportunity to do that and to already know and work with people, so many young people in this office and throughout the wider church and the Vatican here in Rome. I know that this is now the future of the church and of the present as well.
The Pope insists always in the intergenerational dialogue. So the most obvious response is that working with young professionals has helped the Dicastery in having the links with other generation, younger generation, but also in the vision of the integral ecology. This opens to us the possibility of speaking with more competence in future generation, in the generation that still have to come.
I hope that this young professional can have learned something more about the vision of Pope Francis, which means Fratelli Tutti and Laudato Si in practice, in action. And I hope that they, at the end of this experience, they might have a wider knowledge of the church, especially the local churches spread all around the world, and how the gospel can be incarnate in every culture.
One of the experiences that this fellowship enabled was the opportunity to go on a retreat with the other Notre Dame fellows and to really reflect on this time at the Dicastery and abroad. It became really obvious for me during that retreat that I enjoyed working with an institution that had a very clear mission, and that I wanted to be surrounded by people who were collaborative and hopeful and shared the belief that human dignity is of the utmost importance. And so I know that no matter where I'm going in my future, that's something that I'm going to prioritize for myself as a result of this experience.
The thing that I really want to carry forward from this is the special attention to the poor and vulnerable, and how to bring the experience of marginalized people to the center of these conversations and pay special attention to that, and take what I've learned in college and then also here, both the practical and the more theoretical knowledge about putting the person at the center of these international conversations.
For me, it's been super fascinating to be here because as someone who is a practicing Catholic, I have the opportunity to contribute from my faith and from my education to the Holy See's global contributions to international negotiations, which is something that I don't think I would have been able to do at any other institution, to really use my personal faith and my values and really contribute those concretely in the international world.